Hey friends, and welcome to today's video. I'm so excited to share we are finally getting our new front door. We've been waiting weeks and weeks and weeks for this since it was ordered, and I had spent months trying to solidify the final paint color that I wanted, and I did, and I'm super thrilled with it, so I can't wait to share that with you guys as well. I thought I had more footage of the door being installed, but I didn't, and then this is kind of the in-between as after it was installed and it was just primed and ready for paint. Here is the new paint on the door. Wow, this is going very quickly. I chose Jovial by Sherwin-Williams. You guys will get a closer look at that after I do a final reveal, but now we're going to get started. We are going to clear out the entire porch, give the porch a deep clean, and then put everything back together and start decorating for it's a tie between Halloween and Christmas, but one of my absolute favorite times of year. Now that our house is painted and the porch is kind of done, I'm so inspired to start decorating for the holidays, and I'm so excited that the very first holiday I get to decorate for is Halloween because I just love it so much. I had been really uninspired last year because the house wasn't painted, the porch was in bad shape, it just really was not a good looking situation. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I love the way it turned out. It's, simple but fun and, kind of whimsical, but also has a little bit of spook to it. The girls just love it, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to talk a whole lot in this video because it is on the shorter side. The porch portion of it is about 20 minutes, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the end of that. That way you can see the reveal. But the second half of this video is going to be a sit-down chat with me. I'm going to be explaining kind of where we've been over the past 2 weeks, what we've been going through with a little bit of a life update, and where we are going forward. So I hope you guys stick around if you want to hear me out, and I hope you enjoy today's video. So let's get on with it.
Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy on our tiptoes, undercover.
We do have some rust marks on the porch left over from the steel planters that we have. They're really large steel planters and they're lovely, but they kind of bleed and patina, which is cool, but it's not for the porch. So I went in with my power washer, got most of it up without trying to, I was trying not to take up a lot of the stain that we had put down. For some reason, the power washer was compromising that. So I ended up going in with some Dawn power wash and got rid of what I could of the rust stain. And then we just kind of went in and cleaned the rest of the porch and got to decorating.
Easy on our tiptoes, undercover, agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond old. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy on our tiptoes, undercover, agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond old.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden things. Mountain laurel high fives trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I follow only golden.
It worked out for me that the base accent color in my house is black. It lends itself as a nice base for most holidays and most decor, but especially for Halloween. So the rest of my decor was pretty inexpensive. I just bought these little cheap throw pillows from the Target dollar spot. A lot of my decorations were on major clearance at my grocery store, and I used my Cricut to make a pretty cool impact for my door. You guys will see that craft soon. And then my other major tip for decorating on a budget or just not spending a ton of money decorating for the holidays is to wait until that holiday is over. Even if it means you don't really decorate that year, or maybe you don't decorate the way you had wanted to, wait until the season is over and then go shop all of the clearance sections the very next day. You will find everything you need and more. And then next year and every year after that, you will have bins full of stuff that you paid maybe like a quarter of the price. Super, super cheap. Everything goes on sale like crazy after the holidays because the stores don't want to keep them in stock. So there were a couple of years where I just didn't decorate at all because I didn't want to go spend full price on anything. But now I have a few bins in the basement for each season, and I mean, I really didn't spend much money. So if you haven't done that and you really want to decorate, just wait till next year.
Golden, I follow only golden. Golden things, gold birds, gold string, gold words, gold anything, golden. I follow only golden, golden things. Golden, I follow only golden, golden things.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me.
If you like the aesthetic of like layering your doormats and just having more texture and more to look at, I do recommend getting your layering piece, the fabric mat, as something that's very neutral. I got this black and white check 2 years ago at Hobby Lobby, I think, and I can use this for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween, and I don't need to change it up because it's black and white and very neutral. So it's a great way to save money but still have the look you're going for.
Honestly, I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to your bedroom?
So I really love like the flying bat trend that's been going around for a few years now. I think it kind of started on Pinterest and you see it all over Instagram, but I didn't want to buy one because there were so many out there and I didn't know what the quality would be like. So I remembered I had a Cricut, and what's the point in having a Cricut if you're not using it for crafts like this? It was so easy and so fun. I went on Google Image, I found a bat that I really liked. It was super simple, and then I just changed the size into a few different sizes, grabbed some cardboard that I already had and cut out multiple sizes. This was a super inexpensive craft because I already had the materials, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Why don't we go back to your bedroom?
Obviously, when this is cut out, it's a very flat bat. So John and I just bent the wings in a couple different directions, and it gave it that kind of flying 3D effect. And because my door was brand newly painted like the day before, I took this Loctite Fun Tack that I found at Target. It's an amazing adhesive that is just basically like a gummy, tacky texture. But it sticks beautifully. It doesn't come off if it's windy or anything like that, but it comes off super, super easily if you pull it off, but it doesn't compromise the integrity of your paint or the surface that it's on. It's really, really cool. It was super inexpensive and you get a lot of product. I highly recommend this Loctite. Definitely be lying to you if I said that the arrangement process of these pumpkins was super smooth and it was really quick. This took me longer than I think decorating the entire porch. I bought a ton of these heirloom pumpkins from Sprouts and I thought I had more than I needed, but by the time I got them all kind of laid out, I was like, man, I could really use more of these. Just trying to utilize what I had so I didn't go buy more. I will say, if you think you need to fall into the heirloom pumpkin like trend because it does look really cool, just remember it's like twice as expensive as it would be if you just used regular pumpkins, or maybe get regular pumpkins and paint them. Maybe I'll do that next year. These will not last me through Halloween, and it was just a waste of money. They look awesome. It looks really pretty, but I probably won't do it again unless I find somebody who sells them way cheaper.
Gonna stress, not gonna make a mess. Oh, no, I don't wanna be less than I can be. I want it falls to wash me. The wicked drown in water, let go wicked one. You wicked drown in water. I wanna be less than I can be. Water falls to wash me and cleanse me. The wicked drown.
All of this like gauzy webbing I found, like I said, at my local grocery store in the clearance section. They were each only a few dollars, and I got the spiders separately, also on clearance. And then these little things that I have on the table I had from last year, and the little tree is from the Target dollar spot. If you guys look hard enough, you can find a lot of these things for really inexpensive. I did buy these lanterns full price because they're just plain beautiful black lanterns. I think they're Magnolia Home. I found at Target, but I can use these every season and they can just be a staple on my porch, and I love them. I did just put some LED fake candles in here, and it gives a really great aesthetic without having to worry about a flame. Lenny and I found this beautiful LED, it's like purple light, creepy willow tree from Home Depot, and we both fell in love with it. Lenny's favorite color is purple, and she came with me to the store that day and we went for something completely different, but saw this on display and it was the last one, so we snagged it up so we can use it every year, and it's super cool. And because this one has purple LED lights, I also bought a small strip of purple LED lights at the grocery store that were on clearance, and I wrapped them around my cactus and my ficus. That way it just kind of tied in that glowy effect in two different areas of the porch, and I love the way it turned out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this kind of fun, easygoing video. I hope it brought you a little bit of inspiration to maybe decorate your own porch this year for, you know, whether you decorate for Halloween or not. If you just decorate for fall, that's awesome too. What I love about what I did is I can take down the more Halloween-y stuff and still use some of these things as fall decor. My boo sign turns around and it says fall on it and things like that. So I will be changing it up after Halloween, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to do the reveal, and then remember, after I show that, I will be sitting down for, I don't know, like 20 minutes to just kind of talk to you guys. So I hope you do stick around. If not, I will see you all in next week's video. Thanks for watching. Oh, it's already happening. I thought this was a good video to address this on because one, it's pretty short, and two, it's the first one that I've made since taking a break. I think I only took 1 week off, but that means I've been gone for 2 weeks and I've had people wonder where I was. I'm blabbing because I don't know where to start. So I try to keep this channel, at least for the past couple of years, I've tried to keep this channel very much directed toward just cleaning, home renovations, decorating. I don't really put a whole lot of our family life on here because that's just not what it's about. After Bella passed, I never got on here and sat down and talked about it or told you guys what our experience was or how I was feeling or what our family was going through, because it tore me apart. I had Bella for 13 years. I had her for like 12 years. She was around 13 when I adopted her. They found her on the streets of West Virginia, pregnant, and I adopted her from a shelter. I went for a puppy, one of her puppies, and I left with her because they thought she was only about a year old. They didn't know exactly how old, but she was still a puppy herself. So I think I had her for 12. She was around 13. I'm going all over the place because my head is just like... So Bella was my baby, my first baby. She moved with me so many times. She went through relationships and breakups and new jobs and moving back to my parents' house and then buying my very first house. Like, she was there through all of these things, meeting John, having all of my babies. She was there. And so was Ox. I got Ox a few years after I got Bella. And a little backstory on him, since I gave you Bella's backstory. Ox was the most beautiful little boy. I moved into a duplex with an ex of mine, and we would take Bella for walks with his young daughter. And one day we were going around the block. So it was not a nice neighborhood, but the duplexes were cool, old houses, and it was an affordable place to live when you were just kind of starting out. In the backyard of this house around the corner from us, there was a large kennel with like 4 or 5 puppies, something like that, and a mama. The mama, I believe, she was a cattle dog. She was brindle. Let me see if I can find it, because we're just gonna do a sit down chat. I really just want you guys to kind of know where I'm coming from. Yeah, I guess she was an Australian cattle dog. She looked really similar to this. And his dad was a blue-nosed pit bull. So that really beautiful gray, strong pit with the gorgeous eyes, that was his dad. And Ox came out. Well, they did tell me that the mama had gotten out while she was pregnant, and if you don't know this, female dogs can get impregnated by multiple suitors. One of Ox's brothers looked just like a Jack Russell Terrier. So I'm not sure if his dad was the pit or whatever this other one was mixed with and pit, because he definitely had a lot of pit in him. But here he was, this beautiful, bright white little baby boy with the silliest ears, completely independent of one another. It was just like this all the time. He was so freckly on his belly, had a big white brindle spot on his butt, and beautiful like gray-green eyes. And he stole my heart from the minute I saw him. We weren't really in the place to get another dog, but when you know, you just know, right? So I knocked on the door and I said, I noticed you have your hands full. Are you looking for homes for your puppies? And the lady said, yeah, we are. And I said, how much are you looking for? I really like the white one. And she said, I just had a baby. All I'm looking for are some diapers. There's a dollar store on the corner. If you bring me back a pack of diapers, he's yours. And I was like, what? So I always tell people when they ask how I found him and where I got him, and I tell them I found him in a really rough neighborhood and I traded him for a pack of dollar store diapers. And that's exactly what happened. He was an amazing dog. I had him for 9 years. He and Bella grew up together and they were the best of friends. I'm sorry, I keep looking up at the viewfinder. I want to make sure I'm in focus. They were the very, very, very best of friends. I have videos of them running when Ox was just barely bigger than Bella and chasing each other and patting. Bella would always hit him with her paws like this, and he would sit on top of her, like his whole butt. That was his thing. He thought he was a lap dog. He would just like sit on her, sit on us, whatever. They'd sleep together. I always called them yin and yang because she was brown, he was white, and they would just like head, and they'd sleep like that, or he'd sleep with his head over her, vice versa. And every night he would kiss her face, he would lick her, he would give her a bath inside her ears, her whole face, the whole shebang. They were best friends. She was his mom, you know? So Ox was with me through all of the things I said Bella was. It was just a few years difference. And then I met John, and I think Ox was around 4 years old. Just turned 4, yeah. And we had Lenny. We moved to Salt Lake City. We had Lenny. We moved to Michigan. We moved here to Colorado. We had Theo. We had Ellis. We had Oliver. They were here for everything. If you're still here with me, there's no point to this. I'm just telling you what I've been going through. My emotions have been all over the place. My heart has been broken since I lost Bella. When Bella passed, we had a vet come here and we gave her a really good last day. We took her for a walk in the wagon. I gave her peanut butter. I gave her an apple. We sat out in the back. I petted her. She and Ox took a nap next to each other. And then the vet put her down under our favorite tree in the back where Bella basically spent that whole day. We just hung out under that tree and I said, she's chosen where she wants to be buried. So we gave her the gift of putting her down where she was comfortable and happy. And then we buried her an hour later. And I think I was able to suppress the sadness and the anger and just the deep-seated sorrow because I still had Ox, and to me, he was a piece of her. They were joined at the hip. So when I saw him, I saw her, and I put all of my love and my energy into him. If you're not following me on Instagram, or if you missed my update video like 4 videos ago, 2 months and like 2 or 3 days to the day that Bella died, Ox got really, 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 really sick. And Ox has been the pillar of health his whole life. He's never had a problem. Always been a very healthy, very energetic dog. No matter how old he is, he always seems 5 years younger than that. People ask me all the time if he was a puppy. He got really sick. I took him to the hospital. I've explained this in that video, so I'm not going to get into major depth. But after we took him to one vet hospital, we transferred him to another vet hospital because they had a neurologist on staff, and then he actually just ended up becoming a neurology patient. What they believed happened was that Ox had a stroke. They thought that he was too weak to get an MRI, so it was never like definitive. But what this neurologist, and if you don't know, there are only like 100 animal neurologists in the entire world, and one happened to live like 20 minutes from us, thank God. What he said he believed happened, and he was pretty sure, was that he had a blood clot that traveled up his spine, and then he had an embolism in his cervical spine, and that caused a lot of damage. He couldn't really walk. He never regained full mobility in his right leg. He developed megaesophagus, and they don't know when that happened. That's usually indicative of something like myasthenia gravis or Addison's disease, or a couple other things that can happen to dogs. But it is really rare to happen in a breed like Ox. It's usually either something that the dogs are born with in a specific breed, or they develop over time, but still not really his breed. We got megaesophagus. If you don't know what that is, the muscle, his esophagus stopped like contracting. It was very big, and so he couldn't eat and push food down into his belly. And we didn't know that, or how long this had been going on. And when that happens, they cough a lot, they regurgitate, and then they aspirate into their lungs. So he likely aspirated food into his lungs, and then he developed aspiration pneumonia. And he must have had this for a little while, and we didn't really realize it. We're like, oh, he's coughing a little bit, but he's so like, he just pushed through so many things. It was really hard to tell when this started. But obviously we took him in when we're like, he just doesn't look the same. He doesn't seem the same. Something's wrong. So I took him into the vet, our regular vet, like 3 times, and they never made me feel like it was anything more than like, we'll give him this antibiotic, he might have a worm, we'll do this, it might be this. And I think it was just too late by the time I was like, I can't keep coming to this vet because I'm not getting answers. And I took him to the hospital, he got an x-ray, whatever. About a week and a half, I'd have to look at my calendar, but I'm pretty sure it was about a week and a half to 2 weeks after he finished his rounds of antibiotics. We were going to the mountains. John's mom was visiting. We were going to the mountains, and of course we were taking him. I would never expect anybody to take care of him the way he needed, and he could come with us, you know? Long story short, we take him there. He declined so fast that first day. We all went to bed that night. I made sure to get up and give him his medication early in the morning. He wouldn't take it at all. He refused to even eat peanut butter. Ox would never refuse to eat peanut butter. The only thing he would do is drink. So I made sure he was hydrated, and we ended up having to call a vet nearby, an animal hospital. And we had to take him in, we had to put him down. Because when the vet checked him out, he was extremely dehydrated. I'm everything, it's okay. He was extremely dehydrated. He was clearly exhausted, and he had a lot of fluid still in his lungs. You know, I guess it was just at that point we just realized there wasn't anything else we could do. The vet said we could hospitalize him again and basically do everything that we had done for him a month prior. Put him back in the hospital, put him on an IV, give him fluids, give him antibiotics, try to bring him back. But because he had the mega esophagus, even if we were to have been able to get him better, he probably would have had to spend weeks in the hospital because it takes a really long time to cure the pneumonia. Even if we got him better, it would have happened again because that's just what happens. And I guess John and I just kind of looked at each other. He was in such bad shape. He wasn't even like moving. I carried him into the vet. I held him on my lap and he didn't bite it at all. I just held him the whole time. So we knew it was just the right decision to make, that we did everything we could to keep him here with us and to get him healthy, but he was telling us that he was ready. So we sat there. I sat there holding him, talking to him, telling him how much I loved him, how grateful I was for his love and everything he gave. A couple of the songs came on the radio in the vet that I just loved, and I sang to him, and it was peaceful. And as soon as the vet administered the euthanasia, he was gone, like immediately. It was so fast. And he looked at us and he was just like, he was so ready. It was just that fast, and it was really emotional. It was very hard, and what was supposed to be a nice relaxing weekend for him, for us, for everybody, turned into just like the worst week that I've had in a really long time. I think aside from Bella, it was like the worst week of my life. So all of this happened on the 29th of September. Today's Friday, October 8th. So it was like it just barely over a week ago. And it's just, I don't know, I can't explain it. I just don't feel like myself. I don't have the same like energy and joy and like vigor, and I feel empty. I feel like a part of my heart, because it was like a part of my heart has just been ripped out. And I come from a family where anytime we went through this heartache as kids and we lost a family dog, it was within a few days or a week where we would adopt another one, and we would fill that sadness and that void with a new puppy to love and to put energy into and care for. And they never replace the ones you lost. They never will. But it does act as a band-aid, and it helps to heal what's been broken and what hurts, bringing new joy, new life, new energy into your home and something to love. So with that said, this past week, we found a new member of our family to bring home, and she will be here next week. And we are going to love her, and we are going to care for her, and we are going to give her the best home. All right, I had to change locations because we had somebody come by. We had to sign some paperwork. We're refinancing the house. I have no idea where I left off. And Theo's in my room, so I can't talk too loud. She's sleeping. So I just want to end this by saying it's been the hardest 3 months of my life. And nothing is going to replace my first babies. Nothing ever will. I have so many beautiful, incredible memories, and I don't want to be super melodramatic, but if you've been in my shoes, you understand it needed to be addressed. I didn't want to just not say anything, and then all of a sudden they aren't here and we have a new dog. Like, it didn't matter to me, or I didn't care, because it's the complete opposite. I'm crazy for bringing in a puppy when I already have 4 children, 4 and under. It's crazy. But I don't want my kids growing up without that energy and the love that a dog brings. There's nothing like it. So it's just right for us. And I think it's right for healing for me and for John. We're both equally as excited to bring her here and just help us move on and be able to smile when we think about them instead of crying. So she will be here. Today's the 8th. She'll be here on the 15th. And you guys will likely meet her like maybe a week or 2 later because of the way I film. But I will do a sit down and I will introduce you. And I just want to say thank you. You guys, I've been filming with them for 3 years now. And the amount of you that just fell in love with Ox and Bella warmed my heart. They were charming and sweet and silly and snuggly, and they were always appearing in my videos. Many of you commented how they always followed me around, whether it was like their bodies or just watching everything I did. So thank you for loving them and caring about them and asking questions about them. It really meant a lot to me, and I'm sure you'll do the same with our new addition. But thank you for listening. If you're still here, I'm going to do my best to kind of chop up some of this and cut some of it out. I tend to just, this isn't scripted, so my train of thought just goes all over, and then it's just like word vomit all the time trying to get to the point. But there's just so many things I wanted to say. So I'll do my best. But if you're still here, thanks for listening, and thanks for being here and always supporting me and my family and my channel, no matter what that looks like. So I love you guys, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden